What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, it's been a few days since Azealia Banks's Donald Trump Epstein apologist tweet rant that she put on Twitter, and I think it's about time we start talking about rapper Republicans. Those of you who don't really follow the news too much and don't really follow hip-hop news too much, let me kind of clarify some of this stuff for you. We all know Azealia Banks. She was somebody who used to rap years ago, almost a decade ago, and is completely irrelevant, right? She's now pivoted from being Elon Musk's concubine to now being a full-on Donald Trump supporter who supports this man no matter what he does or what he says. We all know the story of Epstein and what all that entails and Donald Trump's connection to Epstein. But the difference is that now Epstein's files are starting to not necessarily get released, but they are being reviewed by certain people in the government. And it has been confirmed that Donald Trump is in a good amount of these files. And this is affecting Donald Trump's fan base, i.e. Azealia Banks. The issue of trafficking and the Epstein Island has always really been a bipartisan issue, but I will say it has been an even bigger conservative issue because every single problem that America has, QAnon and the conservative side has looped back to the Epstein Island, the Epstein list, and has basically said that nothing but liberals were on that island. And they've kind of turned this whole thing into like this weird political boogeyman. So now you can understand why when their leader, who is supposed to be the savior from the deep state, is now protecting the deep state, these people don't know what to do. Some are fed up and calling things out as they should, but others who are on the payroll for a lot of these conservative politicians are starting to pivot, just like Azealia Banks, who went on Twitter and decided to write this for some reason. Okay, in Donald Trump's defense, being with 14-year-old girls was really only made a social taboo in the 1990s. My grandmother was born in 1927 and had her first child when she was 12. Teenage pregnancy only becomes frowned upon with the rise of Jerry Springer, and also can be honest about the fact that I was old enough to choose, seduce, and decide to be with grown men when I was 15. I really don't get why women are fronting like they weren't being with 40-year-olds at 15. Like, come on now. I'm honestly not surprised or mad at Trump for getting some 15-year-old because those were the times. Good night, USA, forever. Now, if he was with a 10-year-old, we have a problem. But if the girls were 13 and up, who cares? Move on. Jesus Christ. Great. So in hip hop, now we don't just have to worry about the negative effects of talking about gangs and gun culture and drug culture. We actually have rappers that are sitting here making excuses for child predators. Make it make sense. I'm fine with Tim Pool being bought. I'm fine with Tim Dillon being bought. I'm fine with Joe Rogan being bought. I'm fine with any of these major people, Charlie Kirk, all these guys being bought. But one thing I am not cool with is seeing rappers be bought. And the worst part is I don't even think they were paying her to say this. Some of these rappers have lost their way so much, and it's almost a crime that they're able to make art that reaches children. I truly don't know what is happening to this genre. Kanye West went from being the coolest soul sample rapper producer to now being a Nazi. Azealia Banks is capping for somebody and their PDF activities. And now you have NBA YoungBoy saying, I don't care, whatever Trump does is good for the youngins. Meanwhile, Trump is the one doing inappropriate actions with the youngins. And I think the main issue here is that so many rappers have criminal histories, you know, so they can be pardoned for things and they have all these different things over their head that allows them to be subjected to certain manipulations, you know? NBA YoungBoy has been on numerous trials. Kodak Black was just about to go to jail for the rest of his life until he got pardoned by Trump. You know, now he calls him Uncle Trump. These people are just being used, completely used, and they're willing to use you in order to fulfill their debt to him. We need to start waking up. People always talk about the sound of hip hop and how disappointing the sound of hip hop is to our forefathers and the legends of hip hop, but none of us talk enough about how hip hop was started as rebellion, just like how punk was, or hardcore was, or really any genre of music was. And now it's been bogarted into this thing for not just marketing, but marketing for fascism. If you want to market stuff for money, that's wrong. I don't like it. But to market for a fascist government is truly awful and disgusting, and no one should be supporting it. And it all really boils down to greed, which is the worst part. Stupid, human greed. I hate to admit this as a black person, but as a socialist, I see this all the time, and I feel like it needs to be said that a lot of black people don't really care about equality for all people. What they really want is black people to have their own shot at black capitalism. Yeah, world hunger could be gone, they don't care. Yeah, Medicare could be for everybody, they don't care. Yeah, education should be for everybody, they don't care. They just want their little piece. And if they have to be a slave to get their little piece, they'll do it, as long as there's other lesser slaves below them. And these are the people that we put into our ears every single day. This fascist bullshit is everywhere, and a lot of these leeches want their money. And regardless of what side of hip hop they're on, they're going to chase that money, either in support in a loud way, like calling Donald Trump Uncle Trump like an idiot, or quietly supporting certain things that they don't tell you about and they don't put on Instagram. Regardless, when we find out about these things, we need to hold these people accountable. But let me know what you think. Do you think that rap conservatives are cool? That would be a crazy take, but all right, you're free to have that. Or do you see what I'm saying and you actually see the writing on the wall? And does it actually piss you off like it pisses me off that so many people in our ethnic group seem to only care about getting dollars for themselves? I feel like we've fully been brainwashed by the American capitalist system. Like the black population is the capitalist experiment. Bring people to a nation, deprive them of everything. Even when they are free, deprive them of every opportunity. Then pit them against each other. Then show them images of different things that'll bring them happiness but are only consumer items. Then watch how they perceive the world from that. That's what so much of the black population is outside of hip hop, just in general, and I feel like we need to call it out. But let me know what you think in the comments. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Peace.